Who knew, after 100 years since such a dreadful attack, you could go for a nice, peaceful stroll through the woods. The sun is shining, the birds are chirping, that attack has changed nothing. Well, fuck. It's been said that Breath of the Wild is easy, or not a challenge, or overpowering, but this game is very deadly. There is so many things in this game that can kill you, and be thankful that you are in control of someone as talented as Link. The everyday Hylian would never, and I mean never, be able to survive a quest even similar to Link's. There is literal blobs of jelly that can kill you in this game, and that's just the beginning of it. There is 67 overworld enemies, 15 overworld bosses, 7 bosses, and if we include traps and obstacles, there is 12 of them. So overall, that's 101 dangerous things. That's not even including drowning, burning, getting electrocuted, falling from a height, and the list just goes on and on. So what I want to explore into is, how deadly is this world? It might not seem so deadly, but in reality, it's one heck of a danger to anyone and everyone in Hyrule. As I said in the intro, there is a lot of ways you can die in this game. Whilst they may be considered easy or overpowering, that's just Link. But how would the everyday Hylian do in Link's situation? I mean, they are all cozy and safe in their groups, but put them in Link's shoes, how would they do? Well, firstly, let's get an idea of the everyday Hylian. The majority of Hylians in this game are unarmed, so let's be nice and generous and pick one that's armed. You know, so they stand a somewhat chance. From the looks of things, the everyday armed Hylian is equipped with a regular sword and wooden shield. So, regular armor, regular sword, and regular shield. For now, we will focus on them surviving in regular conditions. We will look at the colder and warmer regions later in the video. So, what do we already know about Hylians, and how they manage to take on enemies? Well, if you take a little wander around central Hyrule, there is a good few Hylians trying to fight off bokoblins. One of the weakest bunch, and sometimes they can't even defend themselves against bokoblins. So we have a great start here. Sometimes, depending on what kind of bokoblin it is, they can kind of get the upper hand, but they still really struggle with such an easy enemy. So if they can't even take out a bokoblin, that kind of means they can't take out a lot of enemies. Moblins, Lizalfos, Lionels, and oh boy, Guardians. Oh yeah, they stand no chance. The only enemies Hylians could really stand a legitimate chance against are the one-hit enemies. This would be enemies along the lines of Keese, Choo-Choo, Octoroks, Stone Peblets. Are they actually called Stone Peblets? That's the least intimidating name ever. Oh shit. As I was saying, the Hylians only really stand a chance against weak, small, 1 to 2 hit enemies. The fact that they can't even take out a bokoblin really doesn't give them much hope here, and oh boy, there is no way they are taking out a Guardian. I mean, the hero himself did a great job at that, so what chance do they stand? Anyway, it's clear the Hylians aren't making it into Smash anytime soon. Before we move on to the climates, what about drowning, burning, and getting electrocuted? Well, without going full-on theorist and explaining how electricity travels through the body, let's just compare this to Link. Because after all, he is Hylian too. Okay, so in the game, you can burn, drown, and be electrocuted. Pretty terrifying, I know. Let's start with electricity. You can be electrocuted 2 main ways: attacked by an electric enemy or struck by lightning. We do know that holding a metal piece of equipment can attract lightning to you, and guess what? The majority of armed Hylians use metal weapons. So there is a good chance lightning could hit them, and we can't really figure out how many hearts Hylians have, but we do know lightning strikes take a hefty amount of hearts, which sometimes Link can't even survive, so I don't see them surviving either. Now, drowning is based on your stamina. If you run out of it, you drown. Now again, we can't figure out how much the Hylians have, but it's likely going to be one circle, just like Link begins with. But there is one thing. Have you ever seen a Hylian actually swimming? Personally, I haven't in any game throughout the franchise, but I may be wrong. So we'll leave the possibility of them not being able to swim out for now. Burning in the game works differently. The initial catching on fire takes away one whole heart, then every second you lose half a heart. So those Hylians best keep away from fire as well. Now I also mentioned falling from a height, and you know it's fairly easy to explain this one. I mean, Hylians don't have a paraglider like Link, so there is definitely a limit to how high they can fall from and survive, and it's not very high. Link loses just over 3 hearts from jumping around half a tower, so the Hylians could probably survive around the same. This does mean that they need to be very careful, as the land is filled with heights, cliffs, and just dangerous falls around every corner. Now, I mentioned regions earlier. Now personally, I don't think that they are that complicated to explain. Most of the Hylians aren't properly equipped to survive the harsh heat of the Gerudo Desert or the freezing cold of the Tabantha region. However, some Hylians, mostly the ones found within these regions, are equipped with the necessary armor. Hylians are fairly intelligent, so I would believe that if they found themselves in an area they couldn't handle, then they would leave. That's just me. I don't deem the climates as a real danger. It's as simple as don't go into the freezing cold without warm clothes, and don't go into the scorching hot desert without light cold clothes? Whatever they're called. Yeah, it's simple. Moving on, that's the really big things covered. Enemies, natural threats, and the climate. But how do we determine how deadly the wild is? What makes each individual factor more or less deadly than each other? Well, I don't have an answer. Shocking, I know. Well, my reason for not having an exact answer to this is because I just wanted to show that this game may be easy and overpowering to someone like Link, who we play as, but to the everyday Hylian, this state of Hyrule is not safe. Almost every basic enemy can kill them, easily. They don't have super OP weapons like Link, and they certainly don't have one of these bad boys. Anyway, the wild in Breath of the Wild is extremely dangerous, deadly, and definitely not safe for traveling alone. Thanks for watching everyone, I really hope you've enjoyed this week's video. It's been pretty hard to make time for YouTube over Christmas and New Year's, but hey, we're here now, I managed. Be sure to subscribe for more Zelda content, hop in the Discord server through the link below, and until the next time, I've been Hyrule Gamer.